The Mediterranean is just the ancient waters. It's where everything started. It set the path for the rest of civilization.
There's so many layers of history and so many different cultures that have fused together to bring Malta into present day, into what it is today.
West Marine's Life on the Water, presented by Costa Custom Boats.
When you hear the name Malta, you know, you've heard it before. It's an island off the coast of Sicily in Italy, and you know, it's just kind of a place that I never thought I'd have the opportunity to visit.
A small chain of islands that have had a huge impact on civilization, the nation of Malta is made up of 3 islands in the Mediterranean Sea: Gozo, Camino, and Malta. Independently governed since 1964 and home to some of the oldest structures known to man, the Maltese people have been making their life on the water for over 4,000 years.
I was delighted when Brandon accepted our invitation to come over to the Maltese Islands so we could show him exactly what makes these islands so special, both in the water, on the water, and inland as well.
Getting into Gozo was really incredible. It seemed more like the quiet side of Malta, more of the country farmland side of Malta. And you know, the Kempinski was just absolutely incredible. The architecture, the rooms, the pools, the views were just beautiful.
Gozo is less developed than the big island of Malta, and here you can explore ancient castles and pristine coastlines.
The coastlines of Malta are unlike anything that I've ever seen. Sharp, steep cliffs. On the edge of that cliffs, you have the most inviting, crystal clear blue waters that almost just scream out to you, come jump in and enjoy what this place has to offer.
There are plenty of places to jump in, and the Maltese Islands are world famous for scuba opportunities. Old shipwrecks and natural caves can be accessed by land dives, or you can get in a boat to explore multiple locations in one day. Brandon is going to get a chance to experience one of the most spectacular dives in Gozo, as well as a wreck over at Camino Island. To do that, he's meeting up with Hugo Gerard and Jason Fabry with Watercolors Dive Center.
Jason!
How's it going, man?
Good. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. This place is beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
It's a lovely island of Gozo.
Yeah. Cool.
Ready for a great day?
I'm excited, man.
You saw the weather?
It's beautiful. What's the plan? Where are we going?
We're gonna dive the Blue Hole, and after we're gonna dive a wreck, P31, in Camino Island, just over there on south.
Sounds good.
Let's go.
An interesting thing about Gozo is that it's been producing salt since the Phoenician traders were sailing the Mediterranean Sea. Salt farms are passed down from generation to generation, and Josephine Schwirab is a 7th-generation salt farmer.
This has been running in my family for many years. I have spent my childhood here with my parents every summer, and they used to come and collect the salt.
Some of the salt pans date back to the Roman times. It's still gathered till this day by hand and harvested by hand in what we would call today the Celtic method or the Celtic method.
Seawater is pumped into large pools and then poured into squares shaped by hardened clay called pans. Then sun and wind combine to evaporate the water, leaving behind a delicious and unique salt that can't be found anywhere else on the planet.
The Romans used to pay their soldiers with salt. In fact, the word salary is derived from the Latin word salarium. Salt means money. In fact, even this is known as the white gold. It's the best, because it's done with a lot of passion and dedication.
So we're gonna enter from the outside actually of the blue hole. So we're gonna pass under this arch,
Oh, cool.
be in a blue hole, enter in this cavern. So you'll see what's very beautiful. It's actually to exit the cavern to have the lights like coming through you.
Incredible.
So in Malta there is a lot of different dive sites, a lot of wrecks, caves. It's nice, this variety all around the island. What is nice really, I think on the blue hole, it's a huge space and it's going also very, very deep, quite deep. You are not let's say, in a closed environment.
West Marine's Life on the Water, presented by Costa Custom Boats, is brought to you by West Marine. Know more, get more, boat more. Costa Custom Boats. Pelican Kayaks. Smith's Knives, the Edge Experts. OmniSense Systems, dominate the night. And by Tailwalker, the premier Florida Keys fishing experience. A trip to Malta will often mean you're going to get in the water for some scuba diving explorations. Brandon Simmons isn't going to travel across the Atlantic Ocean without first making sure he has the right gear. To find it, he stops by his favorite West Marine store.
Hey Brandon, how are you today?
I'm good, Chelsea. How are you?
I'm doing very well. What can I help you with?
I'm looking for a dive watch, and I've read a little bit about these new Garmin watches. Can you tell me a little more on them?
Yeah, of course. This is the Descent MK3i. This is awesome because it has air integration.
Okay.
So if you have any trips planned with a group of people, you can all monitor each other's pressures in the tank.
Through the watch?
Yeah. You're also able to message each other. They're brief, pre-written messages.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, things like calling your party back to you, making sure that you're okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
All while you're under the water.
Yeah, it's a really good safety feature. It's up to 200 meters of depth on this device.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I won't be going that deep.
Well, do you have any dives planned?
Yeah, I'm actually planning a trip to Malta. Do you know where that is?
I do, yeah. Are you going to the Blue Hole?
We're planning on it. Maybe
Okay.
a couple wreck dives. So, I just want to be ready. And the little bit I've read on them, just the fact that it's a smartwatch and I can hook it up to my dive tanks, track my dives, and do all the other cool stuff with it. That's super intriguing. So.
Yeah, it's got everything you would expect from any other smartwatch. Includes tons of sports, but also what you're looking for your lifestyle is the diving.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect. And it's touchscreen?
It is. It's an AMO LED touchscreen.
That's so cool.
You can see things like tidal charts, your maps, and you can even control your Garmin autopilot.
Oh, wow. No way. That's huge. I think this has got my name written all over it.
All right, let's get you set up then.
Cool. Thanks, Chelsea.
No problem.
Francesca has hooked me up with some incredible divers here in the islands of Malta. Hugo Gerard and Jason Fabry with watercolors. Just the scenery, the rocks, the coral that they have is so different than what I'm used to seeing. It was already just an incredible experience.
Blue hole is quite particular.
Yeah.
This size is small, but you have beautiful light entering. It's serenity underwater, I find my calm.
Yeah.
And teaching people also.
What do you say we get back in?
Yes, exactly.
Continue on our adventure, buddy.
Yes, I'm happy to show you Mediterranean Sea.
Blue Hole may not be one of the deepest or the most tech dive that there is available in Gozo, but it's certainly one of the most picturesque and one of the most awe-inspiring, I would say, something that one should really experience.
Second dive, Brandon. There's a shipwreck. It's a German minesweeper called the P-31. It's the sister ship of the P-29, which was sunk just over here.
Malta has been involved in many wars over its history. With a highly valuable position in the Mediterranean Sea, these islands have been the launching point for the Knights of St. John during the 16th century and Allied forces during World War II.
Malta and Gozo has 7,000 years of history. We were conquered by so many people, from the Phoenicians to the Carthaginians, the Romans, the Arabs, the Knights of Malta, the French, the British. It's a bit of a melting pot of various civilizations. We believe that the first inhabitants came over from nearby Sicily. These people started to construct some very ancient temple sites, which were probably dedicated to the cult of the mother goddess.
These megalithic temples found on Gozo are some of the oldest known human structures, dating back as far as 3600 BC. It's like traveling across layers of time as you explore medieval castles that have weathered the violent past of this tiny island.
In 1940, Mussolini declared war. He declared war against Britain and France. Back then, Malta was under the British rule. At a later stage, the Italians joined the German forces, and also Germany started to attack Malta.
The attacks during World War II were constant, and the tiny nation needed to place mines along the coastal waters to defend itself.
What you see on the white side of our national flag, that is the George Cross, which was given to us by King George VI for the participation of Malta during the war.
So here we are.
P-31 shipwreck.
Brandon Simmons has traveled to the smallest island in the European country of Malta. It's called Camino, and laying in 15 meters of water along the sandy bottom is the old German minesweeper, the P-31. French-born Hugo Girard is a master diver and is taking Brandon down to experience a piece of history up close.
I've never experienced or seen, a German minesweeping boat. So just the thought of getting down there and experiencing something from World War II is so cool to me.
There are shipwrecks from 6 meters down to 40 meters. There are about 20, 30 different ones. The sea water is crystal clear, so we can have at any day during summer or winter, 20, 30, 40, even more meters visibility. You can spend lifetimes diving in Malta and not diving the same place.
You can pass a bit inside, swim through, see different rooms, and you have this excitement a bit of being like inside something underwater. That's had a bit of like adventure.
The tragic end of these World War II boats is transformed by the years under the sea as the empty hulls begin to attract aquatic life. Offering a structure that mimics a reef, the P-31 is on its way to a second, less destructive chapter. It's all part of the fascinating history of Malta.
That was really, really incredible. Heading down to that wreck, you can pretty much see it from the surface, but as you get closer, it just starts coming more and more into focus. The fish swimming around it, all the doors taken off and hatches that you can swim through. That was incredible, a lot of fun.
We have loads of scuttle wrecks, but we also have loads of historical memorabilia.
I'm ready. There's some beautiful wrecks around here.
Off we go.
To better understand and conserve this history is the national agency known as Heritage Malta. They spend countless hours diving the seas to explore the wrecks of the past and preserve the artifacts that tell the story of Malta's early days. The underwater unit is led by Timmy Gambine, professor of maritime archaeology at the University of Malta.
In the beginning, that is what drove us. We wanted to see how much of Malta's 7,500-year history is reflected on the seabed. And now, after 25 years of trying to answer this question, we can firmly and confidently say quite a lot. Anything from 3,500 BC to the Hephaestus, which was scuttled a few months ago, and anything in between.
Timmy Gambin is one of the foremost persons who's well respected internationally, not only for his discoveries, of which one is the Phoenician wreck found in Gozo itself. He's also the voice of antiquity on the Maltese Islands.
For the past 3 decades, we have systematically surveyed the coast of Malta. We've mapped a massive variety of sites. Most of the people excavating here are our students. We are almost certainly excavating into a deposit emanating from a ship that wrecked in this area. The bulk of the objects, so ceramics, pieces of amphoras, which are clay jars made for carrying wine, in this case, oil lamps. We're also picking up pieces which are slightly later than the 5th, 6th century AD, maybe 9th, 10th AD, and also slightly earlier from the Roman period. Year after year, these northeasterly gales kind of pick up the seabed and mix it up into what we're excavating at the moment. You know, it gets mixed up until some extra sediment consolidates it and extra stones. And that's exactly what we're excavating in now.
West Marine's Life on the Water, presented by Costa Custom Boats, is brought to you by Visit Malta. Explore more worlds. Scales. Every degree of water. Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. Waypoint TV. The destination for outdoor entertainment. Ameritrail. Load, launch, relax. And by BioEsk. Pro Solutions.
I was born and raised on the Maltese Islands. Something which I really enjoy doing, it's a passion of mine, is to show people around.
Francesca Vincente has traveled the world and returned to her native Malta to work in the booming tourism industry. With a deep knowledge of Maltese culture, whether it's a traditional fishing village or the fortified towns that dot the landscape, she is the perfect host for a tour through one of Malta's most fascinating cities.
This is Mdina. It's the old medieval city of Malta. The origins of it started from the Neolithic times.
Really?
From Bronze Age to the Phoenicians, and from the Phoenicians to the Romans, and the Romans to the Arabs, and the Arabs to the Swabians, Aragonese, and eventually the Knights of St. John.
Why don't we go explore?
We can go explore. In fact, we can go and explore just like in Game of Thrones.
I love it.
Because this area actually was used when they were entering King's Landing.
Oh, I like that. I love that show.
This is the entrance to the summer palace of Manuel de Villena, the Portuguese Grandmaster of the Order of St. John, also known as the Black Knight. In fact, there he is, right up there, looking at us.
Absolutely.
This palace, in fact, was his summer palace, and he used it to entertain people in the summer.
Mdina flourished during the 18th century. The Knights of St. John were a military religious order that elected Grandmasters to oversee Malta, and this town was full of important nobility and the hub of all activity.
There are still people who live here. The city is the home of the nobility of Malta, the noble families. The protagonist of the square is actually that huge cathedral in front of us.
That's massive.
It's massive. It's dedicated to the conversion of St. Paul, when St. Paul went from being a Roman soldier who persecuted Christians to being a convert.
It's incredible how massive these structures are and just how well preserved and how long they've lasted over time.
Built on the ruins of the Roman city of Melita that served as the capital of Malta in the 3rd century BC, Mdina has seen almost all of recorded civilization influences coalesce into these walls.
Holy
Look at this vista. Back in the day, these walls you could see right round.
Really?
But it wasn't until the late 18th century that the Grandmaster at the time and the nobility allowed the residents to build on the walls of the rest of the city. The only condition was that they had to have their main door flush with the street and a door and a window or a door overlooking the bastions on the opposite side of the main door. That way, if needed, they could roll the cannons right through your house, right to the window opposite, and fire on the enemy.
Oh wow, that's quite the strategy, huh?
Yeah.
Brandon Simmons is fascinated by all the ways we make our lives on the water. And here in Malta, he's encountered an entire country that is shaped by their delicate placement in the ocean of the Old World. Just north of the African continent, west of Greece and south of Italy, Malta is one of the most unique places to visit, both above and below the surface.